Yeah?
Yeah.
My number one is Titanfall. Frontier's Edge, the downloadable content pack, which came out today, and I've been playing basically all day since it arrived this afternoon. You and I had a couple of games, didn't we?
I played one game on each of the 3 maps and had a quick go with like the black market, which now exists for burn cards, but that's it. So yeah, interested to hear. I enjoyed what I played. Definitely, I enjoyed all 3 maps.
Yeah. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say. I mean, it's a less striking and sort of instantly, because the first batch of maps could be were fairly easy to describe and were fairly distinctive.
Yeah.
This is slightly less so. I mean, one thing that's come with the patch is the introduction of this black market, which is just a way of making burn cards more interesting. So rather than pressing both triggers to throw a burn card away, now you instantly sell them, and you can buy other randomised decks when you've saved up enough cash. You can also earn cash by completing these new daily challenges that are new to the game as well. I mean, I throw away a lot of burn cards and recently have got into the habit of using them just for the sake of it, so it's just made the whole process a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
There are people that are worried that it's going to blossom into microtransactions. I can't see that happening. Fingers crossed.
They always said that they weren't interested in doing that. So
yeah, and to be fair, the Plants vs Zombies, everyone thought that was going to blossom into microtransactions, but I haven't seen those yet.
I think it has now.
Has it? I mean,
Apparently.
Has it? We were playing it the other day, and I didn't notice any, but I might be wrong about that. But I would be very, very surprised if they brought them. Yeah, just going on what Respawn has
I don't think those burn cards are powerful enough for people to bother paying for them, unless they released a bunch that were just ridiculously overpowered. But I can't see them doing that.
There are a couple. I mean, like Map Hack.
Yeah.
Just that's a powerful burn card. I mean, I've lived through an entire level without dying and got like 40 kills with that. So there are powerful burn cards, and we'll see. Maybe people will start working out how to game it. I don't know. At the moment, it seems fairly innocuous, just a bit more interesting. But yeah, the 3 maps. The first one is Haven, which is kind of this futuristic hotel complex. It's even got a nightclub and there's a beach. It's the most maze-like Titanfall map so far. Playing this for the first few times was really quite daunting because there's quite a lot to it. But as I assumed when I played it, because we played attrition first, obviously, I predicted it was going to be an amazing map for objective games, and we had 3 absolute thrillers on Capture the Flag. It's just perfect for that. Yeah, there's loads of hiding spots and entrances and exits on each side. And a superb central route. If you're good at wall running, you can basically run around the whole of that circular building in the middle, and it's just absolute knockout level for objective games. Another one is Dig Site, which looks what it sounds like. It kind of looks like a dig site from any science fiction movie you've ever seen. It looks like something from Total Recall, for example. This one's a little bit harder to tell. I need to play it quite a bit more. I mean, we did quite a few objective-based games, and it seemed pretty good. I'm sure it will shine once we've learned it a bit more. But it's very hard to see pilots because it's quite dark.
Yeah.
And every structure and every building has multiple levels. So it's definitely a little bit confusing at first. And the other thing is that we played a game of Pilot Hunter earlier, and we just kept getting killed by pilots who are really high up on the roofs and amongst all this machinery that's up high, and you just can't see them. It's so dark that you just end up getting hammered. I don't know whether that will become easier as time passes, but it's an enjoyable map, but perhaps a little too complicated, a little too dark, but we'll see. And Export is the third one, and that's a very good map. It's like a small community of houses and small buildings around a port. And there's this really high overlooking pathway on the far side, which is great for attrition because you can basically see you're behind chain link fence, but you can see the whole map basically. And on the other side, there's a sort of bay area where if you try to access it from too high, you'll fall into the sneaky couple of those long drop holes which kill you instantly. There's also this curious room which I found, which I figured out what it was earlier on today, but I think you mentioned it with a big red cable in the middle.
Yeah, it looked like a big power core or something, and I shot it, and then I got a kill later, but I didn't have a clue what was happening.
Yeah, I saw someone do it when I was outside. You shoot the red cable, and there's this surge of electricity on the other side of the map, and yeah, anybody who's in that vicinity just gets frazzled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there's an achievement tied to it, so I'm sure it's going to be that's going to happen rather a lot on that map. But yeah, that's a really cool map. We did that on Conquest Domination. It was tremendous. Conquest Domination?
That's from Battlefield.
What is it called? Hardpoint Domination. There you go. And it was really that's a really great map for that.
Yeah,
there's new achievements. Obviously, there's not as immediately. These maps aren't as immediately high quality as the last lot.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to the weekend to sort of play them some more and get to know them a bit better, because they're definitely good. Whether they're as great as the last lot remains to be seen.
Yeah, they also they've tightened up the frame rate. It was part of the patch notes, but I did feel like when it was really kicking off, and admittedly we were only playing on the new maps, but when it was really kicking off, there was one bit where there was like two Titans fighting two Titans and pilots and grunts everywhere, and the frame rate stayed pretty solid, to be honest. When normally it would drop drastically during that kind of action, and it made that whole fight way more exciting just because it wasn't slowing down to like a screen tearing crawl. Not that that's ever really spoiled the game, but it's really nice if it can maintain that. It's still not rock solid by any stretch of the imagination, but hopefully it's it's tightened up, because I mean it's hardly the most beautiful of games, so it really should be nice and smooth. It's a nicer game, but it's not absolutely stunning. And there's the small little changes that they've done, like there's a little up or down arrow to on the radar. I mean, small stuff that you'll only really care even an iota about if you play Titanfall. Small little things like an arrow on the little dude on the radar, see if they're upper floor or down floor. It's always useful because I always get confused about stuff. A couple of little tweaks like that, like they'll put the name in now if you get an assist. I mean, just tiny things, it's barely even worth mentioning, but it shows that they're really they're concentrating and trying to still improve the game massively, and they really have done quite a good job of changing it. This whole burn card thing is pretty cool, to be honest. It does add an extra element, kind of freshens things up a little bit for another go around.
Yeah,